Joining me to kick off today's show is a man that holds a 13-0 record with 3 KOs. He's currently the IBF's number 15 ranked bantamweight contender, and this is a man that goes by the name Katsuma Akitsugi. Katsuma, I appreciate you taking time to come on today, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, first things first, I know it's now a couple weeks removed from your most recent fight, but I'm sure you've been able to look back at it. You watched the fight back. Obviously, an excellent performance by yourself. What's your thoughts on that performance?
To be honest, I didn't like my performance.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was me.
All right. Do you feel like it had anything to do with the build-up process, just off night, or what's your overall thoughts as you've been able to look back on it? Why do you feel like that was not your best performance?
I would say bad camp.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
as you've gone through this now, obviously the boxing world, it's a learning progress. You're obviously going to have some great days. Sometimes it's not going to be as easy. Now, as you prepare for future fights, what did you learn from this past fight, this past camp that's now going to prepare you for the future now?
But to be honest, I was expecting I was gonna perform good. So
Okay.
I did 10 runs, hard 10 runs, so I feel better about it, even though my performance was bad.
Sure.
I thought my camper was very bad, so I thought fight was, but I did good.
So
That
what would
I
you say is
thought.
or what was it? My bad.
No, it's okay.
So what would you say then is the biggest thing that you can learn now from that fight? As you look back at it, you go through that fight, what's the biggest thing that you can learn from that fight that you can now apply to your career moving forward?
Sultan was very tough, so he's the toughest I face. So definitely I learned from the toughness he brought.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
but because war level, like his toughness is normal. Like everybody's like that. So I don't accept. I never accept easy fights. So it was good experience.
absolutely. Well, Katsuma, I want people to get to know your story because, as I talked about in the introduction, you now are ranked in the top 15 by the IBF. For those that know boxing, we've seen you for a little while now. Everyone knew you were going to be a contender in the future. It's now official. You're now a top 15 ranked contender in all the world. So I want people to get to know you a little bit better. And it starts out with you being born in Japan. Obviously, you weren't born in America. You moved out here when you were 16 years old. But growing up in Japan, what was that like?
Regular kid
Right.
growing up in Japan, and then just the little kid dreaming about American dream. That's why I show up here. I'm here still.
When you talk about the culture shock, and we're going to get into when you move out to America and all that, but obviously completely different cultures. As you've now transitioned, was it difficult for yourself in the transition from Japan to America? Was it pretty easy for yourself, or how would you say you transitioned?
It was very hard.
Okay.
No English. I didn't speak any English, so
Right.
I didn't have any people. I just show up without knowing people. So I just show up. I even didn't know what workout was. I didn't know nothing. I just show up. So I'm kind of surprised I'm still here. I'm surprised that I'm where I am right now.
Right. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe you started boxing at 7 years old. I have to ask you then, why did you decide to start pursuing boxing at 7? What brought you into boxing?
Oh, my dad took me to the boxing gym.
Okay.
Because the gym owner was one of the my dad's friends. So
Would you say you fell in love with boxing right then and there? Did it take some time until you really fell in love with it? Or when did you feel like, boxing is what you want to pursue going forward?
I think right away.
Okay.
Because he took me and my brother like soccer, baseball. I think we didn't like the team sports. So once we got at the gym, I think we liked it.
One thing as I've gotten to know more and more about boxing, obviously boxing is massive in Japan. It's right up there between boxing, baseball, some of the biggest sports in Japan. For yourself now, as you grew up in that culture, how much of just the culture and how much it embraces boxing did that kind of inspire you to want to be a great boxer?
That's a good question. To be honest, I just wanted to get better,
Okay.
get better. I didn't think nothing like wanna become a champion or whatever. I just wanna get better.
And for Japan, this era is pretty much regarded as the golden era of boxing. Obviously, you talk about, we know this, the guys that everyone in the world knows. Everybody knows who Junto is. Everybody knows who Inoue is. Everybody knows even Taraji is, these type of guys. But there is so much talent. For those that know boxing, Tatsumi is obviously great. All the Tatsumis are obviously great. Yourself is now included in this group. There's so many people with Japan background, either living there still, or obviously for yourself, obviously Japan. As you talk about being a part of this golden era, what does that mean to you?
It's pretty crazy because when I came here was 2017.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't big.
Right.
American people, they don't know about Japanese boxing community, so it was kind of surprised. I think Naoya, the monster, he brought up all the American crowd.
Right.
Junto too.
Mm-hmm. For yourself now, as you've been trying to achieve these different aspects, obviously I know you've been able to train, you worked alongside Junto, you spar with him before, all the different aspects, and we'll get into that momentarily. But as you talk about now growing out there in Japan, when did you realize that you could become a legitimate contender in the world? Did that take not until you came to America? Did you already realize that in Japan? Or when did you really start to believe that you could be somebody special in boxing?
To be honest, it's kind of weird. I'm still, how can I say? Like, I believe in myself, but I feel like I could do more. So I never satisfy myself. So I never thought like I'm gonna become world champion, whatever. I just wanna like little by little, step by little by. I don't overlook like I wanna challenge this guy, this guy. I wanna step like I wanna be this respectfully.
Right.
So I don't wanna call out nobody. I just wanna fight whatever in front of me. I never attack nobody. I never said no. So I just when they bring me, I just fight. That's my job.
Right.
No hype. I don't need hype.
And you know what's interesting about that is that I think each culture around the world is different because obviously I said boxing is so unique. We have everyone around the world competing in the sport. And I feel like there's obviously some Americans that have the same mindset as yourself, but predominantly I'd say the Japanese culture, a lot of guys, you don't see the trash talking as much. You don't see as much of the clout chasing, the social media aspect. Obviously they have great brands, but it's different. What about that? Why do you feel like so many guys from the Japanese culture don't kind of buy into this whole social media clickbait era?
I would say culture.
Mm-hmm.
We respect people. We of course it's a boxing is a business, but we think sports too.
Right.
More like a sports, yeah. Not like trash talk to get attention.
Mm.
Of course it's good
Yeah.
because it's get attention, but I don't think Japanese people like that kind of attention.
Mm.
Yeah.
For yourself, has it ever crossed your mind? Because as I said, now with you being in America, so many now, obviously I said not everybody, but a lot of guys in America like to use social media, like to go call people out and those type of things. And like you said, obviously it can bring bigger money, can bring more eyes to yourself. Why have you always stayed grounded? Why for yourself personally have you decided to say, you know what, I'm not going to go down that path?
Humble. Stay
Okay.
humble.
Right. I love
That's
that.
most important.
Now, I also want to ask about this transition. We briefly touched up on a little bit ago, but you moved to the United States at 16 years old. And now, correct me if I'm wrong anywhere here, but this is just some background for people that are listening. 16 years old, you go from Japan to America. You drop out of high school, you spoke no English, $10,000 in savings, and you come to America. That's a
Yeah.
crazy thing to do that most 99.9% of 16-year-olds are not going to make the decision. You chose to do that. Why?
I love boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom wasn't happy that I was gonna come because I even didn't decide the house. I just tried to show up, but my mom said, "Oh, please decide home first."
Mm,
Yeah, so that's how I was hungry, I guess. But
mm.
at the time, I didn't know nothing, so maybe I wasn't scared at all.
Okay.
No fear. Yeah, young people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I could do right now. I don't think so.
Okay, so something crazy about that. You just said that you didn't even have a home picked out for yourself yet. So essentially, you're saying you bought yourself a plane ticket from Japan to America, and from there you just said, "Okay, let's see what happens."
No, no. Then my mom say pick the house, so I
Okay.
picked. Yeah,
I know something else, and it's interesting. Is obviously there is great boxing in Japan. We just talked about that aspect, and you chose to come to America for boxing. Why is that the choice you made?
at the time I thought America is more competition, more
Okay.
competitive. But Japan, they do like they bring the people from Philippine, Thai, or
Hmm.
then they get the record.
Right.
Then here too, I didn't know here like Mexico too,
Right.
because I have 7 years, 8 years my pro career. I
Hmm.
never say no, but I still get 13 fights.
Right.
8 years, 13 fights is kind of crazy to me.
Hmm.
That's how much corrupt, I guess.
Right. So if you were to go back now, like let's say the way Japan boxing has developed, obviously it's a much better situation now, I have to imagine, than it was, back when you came to America almost 10 years, 11 years ago now. If you were, 16 years old in 2025, do you think there's a bigger chance and a better chance that you would still stay in Japan as opposed to
I
coming to
think so.
America? Okay.
I think so. I think I was gonna stay if I'm 16 right now.
Okay.
That's how much boxing is big in Japan.
Right. Makes sense. Now, I also want to get back to when you come to America now, because as you've now grown up in America for the past few years, you come out here. When did you start to feel like you were comfortable? Because as I said, you didn't speak English. You only had $10,000 in savings. When do you feel like you started to get comfortable and say, "Okay, I'm starting to find my groove. I feel like I'm finally comfortable out here."
To be honest, I'm not comfortable even though right now.
Okay.
I don't think I never comfortable with English.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, no, my friend over there, I just left.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's no easy.
If somebody were to be in your shoes today and they come from a foreign country to America to pursue their dreams, what's your advice? What would be the best way, the easiest way to make this transition?
Determination,
Mm,
determination. That I think that's the most reason I'm still undefeated. Because determination. I think
right.
I don't care how talented you are. I do hard.
Mm. Was there ever a moment since you've arrived in America that it crossed your mind, said, you know what, this maybe is not working out. I need to go back home to Japan? Or have you always been 100% all in on staying in America?
It's up and down.
Okay.
Yeah, I was many times. I thought I was gonna go home.
Mm. So what kept you in America?
That much hard it was.
So what kept you in America then? Why did you decide to stay, even in those tough times? Why did you say, you know what, I'm going to stay here?
I only have boxing.
Mm,
If I giving up, maybe I really don't know what I'm gonna do.
right.
No choice. But I
Now,
think I put myself this position.
mhm.
Yeah.
Something else that's unique about you is that the way you support yourself, at least early on, is that you were washing dishes at a Japanese restaurant. I have to ask you about that because you're trying to pursue this boxing dream, you're still trying to make a living. How did you balance all those things?
Mm, how? That's a difficult question. But I would say just chase my dream.
Hmm. All right. Well, I want to head into now your debut. 2018 rolls around. You're 20 years old. You decide to make the pro jump at that point in time. Why at that age? Why did you feel like you were ready at 20 years old to make that pro jump?
The time I lost in Golden Gloves.
Mm-hmm.
But people say I won, but I lost.
Right.
So we I decided.
All right. Now, there's been two interesting situations throughout your career. Between the years of 2019 and 2020, you were not able to fight, and then you roll around to 2022 to 2024, you also had a little bit of a drought without fighting there. When you look back on those two time spans, what happened in each one of them? What caused you to have to go, over a year, over 12 months outside of the ring?
Uh, oh, injury, of course, injury. I had a bunch of injury, but I would say I was with the wrong people.
Mm,
Also, I didn't have much support here.
right.
Yeah, I didn't have nobody.
And I think that's a huge thing because when you talk about boxing, the business aspect is so big, and so many people don't understand the boxing business side. Everyone just sees what happens inside the ring, but the promotional aspects, obviously the managers, so on and so
Exactly.
forth. Those are the guys that really help you get those big fights. Obviously, I feel like you're in a much better situation today with where you're at. But when you talk about that, you now have wisdom. You've experienced what good management promotion can do. You've also experienced what bad ones can do. What is your advice if you were, let's say once again, a young up and coming guy turning pro? What should they look for in a promotional guy, a manager? What's to look for in those guys?
I would say manager.
Mm.
Yeah, manager makes big difference in boxing.
Also, we talked about a little bit ago, sparring. You've been able to go out there and spar with many big names. Two names, no most notably, I'd say Junto Nakatani, Mark Magsayo, two great, phenomenal boxers you've been able to go spar with. Let's start with Junto Nakatani, a guy that obviously is a pound for pound fighter right now, one of the best in all the world. What was it like being able to spar with him a few months ago?
That was the owner.
Mm.
Yeah, that was very beautiful work. He never tried to hurt. He tried to work something he needs to work.
Right.
That's very beautiful. It was very different. I spar like a fight,
Yeah.
hard fight. I like to spar like a fight. Yeah, so it's very different experience.
I have to ask you this question. It kind of puts you on the spot here, but I think everybody knows that it's only a matter of time until we see Inoue versus Junto Nakatani. I know Junto's moving up now officially to 122. He's out of your weight class now, and I think we all know why he's moved up to 122. It's the fight should happen next year. When you look at those two guys, we're talking about two pound for pound fighters. Who do you think is going to win the fight?
I would say Naoya,
Okay.
but I really want Junto to win.
Hmm. Why do you give the edge? I agree with you. I do have Inoue winning that fight, but why do you give him the edge? Why do you think Inoue would win that fight?
It's a hard question. But I would say, don't get me wrong, Junto is very complete fighter too. But
Definitely.
Naoya, I think little bit more complete, I guess.
Right.
But I wouldn't surprise if Junto win. I want him to win.
Right. I just think about the stage you could possibly set. Obviously, Inoue has been that guy. He's the face of Japanese boxing. All due respect, he's amazing. And I think he will win that fight. But hypothetically speaking, if Junto goes out there and wins the fight, significantly younger than Inoue in that fight as well, how big do you think his name would become? And how big do you think that would be for Japanese boxing if Junto is able to pull off that win?
Or if he wins,
If Junto wins, correct. Yep.
it's gonna be more bigger than right now.
Right.
But I cannot wait as a fan.
Mm-hmm. Now, the interesting thing is it does now come into your overall weight class. So I want to ask about Junto is that because we know that Junto's gone, Nishida should be gone as well. I think he's moved to 122 as well now. And so now you're looking at 118. It is very wide open right now. Bantamweight obviously has an open belts right now. There's a lot of guys, and now it's in a position where, it's up for grabs. You're in the top 15 now. You obviously have a chance at making a run there. When you look at your weight class with Junto gone, Nishida likely gone, what does that do for you, and what it makes? How excited are you now moving forward, knowing that there's so much more opportunity now?
It's not like a because Junto move up, but nobody wanted to fight him, so
Right.
I think everybody happy he moved up. But we are good friends, but if they ask me, I would take. But
Mm.
I really don't care who I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna take whatever I'm gonna have opportunity.
It's interesting that you said that because I feel like in boxing, you're either so diehard on saying, okay, if the money's right, the situation's right, I'll fight a friend. Other guys would say, you know what, I'm not going to fight a friend regardless of what happens. You obviously just said that. Hypothetically speaking, now Junto is moving up to 122, but hypothetically said if that opportunity were to present itself, you would take it. Why is that your approach? Even though you know Junto, even though you're friends, why would you want to still fight him if that situation was there?
Uh, dream. I want to
Mm,
become world champion
right.
because especially nowadays, nobody wanna fight without good money. So if
Mm,
I have a belt, everybody's coming to me.
right. So what do you look for yourself? Because you're only 27 years old. Obviously, you're bantamweight. You're in the top 15 now. What's your track record? Obviously, world championship shot probably is not coming in your next fight. But in terms of when that could be, do you see that happening within, the next year, 18 months? When do you feel like you could possibly be fighting and put yourself in position to fight for a world championship?
Hopefully soon, but I cannot say. But I gotta win too.
Right.
Yeah, I don't wanna say in the like a couple of days after. I'm looking for next fight.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm gonna be next guy, the next. So
So
that's why
what?
I don't like people have a fight before the fight, next fight.
Agree.
Yeah, it's a very disrespectful opponent, I think.
Now, we have seen that a lot, and I think most notably, even though he took care of business, Bam Rodriguez, he already had his next fight lined up after Pumile Kafu. It all worked out. Obviously, that happens. So, like, Inoue does the same thing sometimes. But, like you said, your idea is always staying fight by fight basis. What kind of led you to that mindset? Why do you say, you know what? I'm only going to look forward to who is next as opposed to the future plans?
I don't think it's I don't see it's good
Mm,
to overlook opponent behind you, no, against you.
right. So what is next for yourself then? When you look at what's on the table, as I said, you're in the top 15 in the IBF now. Is there somebody that you want overall? Do you see yourself fighting a top 15 guy, just another tune-up fight? Like, what do you want in this next fight?
I actually don't know who above me, but whatever top 10 or whatever, I'm happy.
So you do want whatever it is, you want your next fight to be against a top 15, top 10 ranked guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna get better position. So
Right. Now there is one name. I just want to throw it out there real quickly. And the only reason I say this is because he is a fellow guy in America. That's Michael Angeletti. I know you guys obviously are both 118, both in America. Could possibly get made. He is ranked a little bit above you in the IBF. Also, he's ranked in two other weight classes or two other bodies as well. Would that fight be something that would possibly be made? Have you ever had rumors of that fight?
yeah, for sure. Actually, we supposed to fight a couple years ago,
Right, right.
but I don't
So,
know. It's fell off.
so do you think that fight could reemerge? Could we possibly see that fight in the future
Oh, why
then?
not?
All right. Out of everybody there, like I said, when do you see yourself getting back to the ring? Is there a certain time, by the end of this year, next year, when do you want to get back to the ring?
I think at the end of the year.
So would you
Depends on my cut, but
right. Absolutely, man. Well, I got a couple more questions before I let you go, Katsuma. One of them is this. Now, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it rightly, but I want to try sounding out. It's your nickname you go by, El Cueto Japonesita. And if I'm not mistaken, stands
el
for the
cohete
little.
japonesito.
Correct, yeah. And so I believe that it stands for the little Japanese rocket, if I'm not mistaken. How did you come up with that nickname? Where did that start from?
Oh, just my first when I made my outfit.
Mm,
I asked he was Mexican, so I asked uh, give me some Spanish nickname.
okay.
Yeah, that's it. Then keep going from there.
And you do embrace that, which is unique because when we talk about the culture of boxing, Mexico and Japanese styles are so similar. Obviously, there's some differences, but they're very, very similar. As you've now embraced both the Mexican culture as well as Japanese culture, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. Mexican people are one of my favorite people.
Mm,
Yeah, very very good culture, very good people. I even didn't know Mexican people live in America. Yeah, I didn't know.
All right. Well, Katsuma, I have one final question for you, and that is the question like wrapping up every interview with, and that's asking about your legacy. Obviously, one day in the future, you'll step away from boxing and move on from boxing. When that day does happen, what do you want to be remembered for what you have accomplished both inside and outside of the ring?
Legacy. Mm, mm, no ducking. Never duck. Never say no. I wanna be old boxing. Like if they fight each other, like the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's hard right now, business side. But yeah, once maybe I became world champion, maybe people wanna fight.
Mm,
So I gotta be there. I gotta be there first.
right.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Katsuma, I appreciate you for taking time to come on today, man. It's been a blessing and honor having you on the show, and I cannot wait to see what God's got in store for you, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, you're always welcome on, man. God bless.
God bless you. Thank you.